Driving test leaving from South Yardley, taking the Barrows lane route at 11 am. If you're not comfortable with mini roundabouts, I do suggest you get used to them as there's quite a good few mini roundabouts in South Yardley. Now there will be a slight added difficulty when it comes to pulling over in the test today, simply because there's so many leaves around it's going to be hard to see everything, especially when it comes to your positioning within the curb. The examiner did say it was safe to stop here because a slight adjustment needed to be made with the car. So after that was all sorted, they have good all-round observations and then they move off. Now you'll notice there is a lot of weaving in and out between parked cars on this route. I'll be honest, that's the same for nearly every single route in South Yardley. You will face that quite a bit in this area. Because Garretts Green starts off in a trading estate, you don't have it as much. This is a very built up area and it does get fairly busy at times. Now you'll notice here that you can only go one way. The examiner isn't going to tell you where to go here. The road signs say everything. Now, as they do turn left, they take it a little bit wide, so they pick up one minor fault here. As they're on this road, they do pick up their speed nicely. The examiner won't expect you to be at 40 straight away. There is a pedestrian at the crossing. They weren't on my learner's side of the road at that time, so they did not need to let them across. If they had been any further in the middle, that would have been a different situation. Now they moved back over to the left because the left lane is the normal driving lane. And notice how quickly they did that as well. That shows really good planning and awareness. Now, I know I've just said they had good planning and awareness, but they have been told that shortly they're turning right. They're really quite slow with moving across. There was a plenty large enough gap and they were very slow to react to this. With the position they're now in, they check their mirrors, they signal to the right, build up speed, and then they start to move across. This could have been done much sooner and made things easier for them. So, if the examiner does say shortly we'll be turning right, they're not trying to trick you. Now, when people come off here, they do tend to get too close to the cars on the left. At the moment, it's not too packed, so it's alright. But if there was a car coming towards them at the moment, or quite a few of them, reduce the speed a little bit. One important thing to remember is less space, less speed. Down this stretch, you'll notice they don't really get up to 30 miles per hour. That's absolutely fine because there's quite a lot going on. People in their cars, fairly built up area, it's fine. And at the strange oval shaped roundabout, they're going left first exit. Is actually clear for once. I couldn't believe my eyes. Now, the car you're about to see emerging out, I have no idea what's going on there. It's Birmingham, what can we say? They're taking the next road on the right. Their positioning was quite off for this one. They should have been positioned a lot further forwards at the point of turn. The jolt you saw wasn't the car stalling, they just braked a little bit harshly, but not enough to warrant a fault. But the turning did need some work. If they'd have been a bit further forwards, fine, but they were quite far off the point of turn. It is a slightly busy road sometimes, a lot of people cut through here. If you can't find a gap for a while, put your signal on, somebody might let you out, and that's what happened here. The car behind let them out because they had their signal on and they were being nice. The positioning for this stop was a little bit off and it was a bit bent. It didn't cause any issues to anyone, but there was quite a large gap from the curb. At the end of the road, the turning left. They did come to a complete stop when it just wasn't necessary. They could have kept the car rolling and moved off. There was no cars coming. It was clear to go. In a lot of situations, you are allowed to stop behind giveaway lines and look. If, say, for example, it's a really close junction you can't see much. That just wasn't one of them. Now, down this stretch, they do like to pull you over because it's a really good place to do a hill start. Loads of room is given to the person with the door open. That's exactly what you want to see. Pedestrians have a lot of protection when it comes to the highway code, and rightfully so. They are vulnerable road users or people that could be on the road. So always give them as much space as you can safely give them. Now for this left turn, it does go a little bit wide again. There was nobody on the other lane, so it's only a minor fault. We are now about halfway through their test, 6 minor faults. Doing alright so far. They have been told that shortly they're going to be turning right. This comes to the awkward bit of when you should move over. Personally, I think a gap has been missed. They could have moved over by now. The silver car to the right is making it a little bit more awkward. This is what I mean by try not to get stuck. It's not safe to move over, so they just carry on where they are. And you know what? That's a good decision. If it's not safe to move over, don't. The examiner will now just reroute them. It's nice and simple. You don't pick up a fault for that. The examiner just reroutes you. If you try to force your way across, that's how you get serious and dangerous faults. Coming up to the roundabout, you notice a bit of hesitancy. There were cars to the right, but they were signalling to leave the roundabout, and they had the positioning for it. I don't know what to say. If my learner had have done that, they would have failed the test straight away. Now, the speedo is slightly off. They did 33 down this road. So that would go down as one minor fault. Now, a lot of these roads around here are 20. They've just entered the 20 zone. So until you see the new signs, you have to presume it's 20. There will be repeater signs across lots of different lampposts. The good thing about this area is they do quite clearly signpost all of it. As they approach the 30 mph sign, they build up their speed too quickly, and they do hit 25 mph before they hit the 30 sign. It was way too early to do it, so they did pick up a dangerous fault. Now down this stretch, they did reduce the speed if the space got a lot tighter. Sometimes you can end up stuck here for quite a while. You do need to practice taking slightly tighter gaps just because otherwise you might be here for some time. My learner didn't miss any obvious gaps, so they didn't pick up any faults here. The manoeuvre, absolutely fine. Can't really fault it. It's the manoeuvre everyone wants. So that's pretty much the end. Can't film too close to the test centre just because there are examiners out. Remember, when approaching these mini roundabouts, don't fail in the last minute. If there's a car to the right, make sure you give way. So guys, hope you found this useful.